The Testament of Anne Lee is the newest film from the husband and wife duo behind The Brutalist, this time directed by Mona Fastvold. The narrative follows the trials and tribulations of the life of the eponymous Shaker leader, Anne Lee, in a surprise musical. The film was always going to be outwardly very musical, but the extent of it went further than I'd anticipated. What this film gets right to angelic degrees is the dancing sequences. I found it to be difficult to not be viscerally moved by the coalition of music and movement in such fervour. The harmonious singing and the exquisite score by Daniel Blumberg simply immersed me into the world of the Shaker movement. The adrenaline was pumping. The songs, for the most part, are mostly simple and repetitions of lyrics, but the building intensity of the characters' belief in their faith makes the stripped-down nature of the music more grand and operatic in scope. The sweeping camera work then only amplifies the expressiveness of the physical movement. During scenes of worship, new life and joy is sparked into the flowing of the camera through the massive bodies which wrap me as an audience member into the moment. I've said it before, and I have to say it again here, but I just adore dance sequences in film, and The Testament of Anne Lee delivers a plethora of strong, emotionally effective ones. The score itself, at times, does get weird on occasion. For the most part, the music is grounded into diegesis, set in the 1700s. That music works to hook you into the beauty of their worship, the communal fast of it all, which is core to the realization of such a conceit as the Shaker movement spirituality through pure expression of oneself. But, upon arriving in America, in one of the non-diegetic musical tracks by Blumberg, I detected a little electric guitar twang imbued into the temporally apt score. I appreciated this touch as it makes the arrival of Mother Anne's beliefs into a newly establishing America seem more radical and builds up the ante. And then the absolute highlight of the film from which all else becomes possible. Amanda Seyfried. This is an absolutely committed performance and it pays off greatly. A criticism I've heard about the performance is how polished Seyfried's singing voice is compared to what the people of the era would likely have had. And I don't agree with this take. At all. Especially given the story being told, with its framing as a legend, and the divine qualities of Anne Lee being heightened to an extent, the more modern-leaning sound of her voice only goes to make Mother Anne this otherworldly figure, and possibly even a rebirth of Christ. It's from Seyfried's own movements, serene while lacking in outward elegance, a pure devotion to faith, messy as it may look, that the film finds its rhythm, a pace which I wished it could maintain without self-sabotaging. Sadly, I was unable to fully give myself to the film, as much as I desperately wanted to. Seyfried and the dance sequences demand full attention and full immersion, and I was in it. However, there was one creative decision which tempered my appreciation for the film overall. Throughout, from the very beginning, the film is narrated by one of the characters. I find voiceover to be a difficult thing to seamlessly apply to a film, and The Testament of Anne Lee has maybe my least favourite use of it in quite a while. Rather than show something or alongside something being shown, the narration will emerge and dump a hefty amount of exposition. This is what I find to be the film's only flaw. I could have done without the voiceover. I think it only slows the film down. In the scenes where the stuff being exposited is presented on screen, I'd appreciate it if it simply wasn't there. For bits which aren't ever on screen and only revealed through the narration, I'd have loved to just see them diegetically. As it currently stands, this film is in the precarious position of being both simultaneously overlong and too short. I could have watched this film, narration removed, for an additional hour or two. It should have been a lengthy, beastly epic the way that The Brutalist was, but it seems condensed into a more quote-unquote palatable form. So, much to my disappointment, The Testament of Anne Lee is a disappointing film which I wanted so much more from. The elements where it manages to hit its stride, it does so with this extreme grace which is able to distill qualities I love to see in cinema. Extraordinary dance and music is a hell of a drug. It's only the fact that the narration brings the pacing of the film to a sluggish halt. It's unable to fully erase the impression that the fantastic scenes of worship left me, but does sour the final film a little. The Testament of Anne Lee. 3.5 stars. Well, that's all. Keep on watching movies, and form your own opinions. See you in the next one.